history of the world from World War I up to present in WorldBox. And and this is on computers. I made a first video of this on on my iPad, but it did not save. So I'm just going to do this. I'm gonna try it this way on my computer because my computer does save it. So let's hope this load. Okay, it loaded. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just make everything water. I'm not sure if it's. I don't have any mods yet. I will get some in the future. So I'm just gonna. And I'm doing this on my laptop, so I don't have a mouse. So this is a little bit hard, but anyway. Alright, let's just cover up the final. I'm not gonna make everything level, like the ocean level, but I'm gonna just get all the land. All the land right there. And then normal. Okay, pretty good. So first of all, I'm gonna start off with the brush size being smaller. So I'm gonna start with South America. That's South America, very bean shaped. There we go, Alaska right there. I think I'm just going to real quick. The brush size is a little bigger. Now I'm just gonna completely erase this part because I messed up on that. And back to this size. Oh, land soil. And then since I don't think I'm gonna have room on this side for Japan, I kind of need to have Japan. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a kind of Japan right here. I'll just make it a little bit longer right there, and then Hawaii, like right here. Just about 3 islands. That's all I'm gonna do. And then alright, so now let's see. I'm gonna have a small Cuba right there. Doubt that's big enough for any civilization, but anyway. And yes, I'm going to add a river right here because the Amazon River anyway. So I'm just going to do Europe now. So let's start like that. And go. Africa, right? Oh. And you guys can always skip this part of the video until I'm done with this. I'm just not going to edit it out though. Because if I ever do this again, I'm going to want to see how I made it if I accidentally forget to save it. So now I'm going to change the brush size back to that. And pencil. India, which this is not even accurate really. And then this is just gonna go right here until we get to Norway. A little bit higher. Then we're just gonna go like that. Okay. So now I have to change this back to normal size. Alright, alright, I'm just gonna change this to like that. Maybe like a few sub items. Cuba, okay, there we go, we got Cuba. And hopefully my Mac is off because I'm not sure if you guys can hear it in the video, but it's really it's making a lot of air come out from the ventilation things. Alright, so I'm just gonna click this whole thing in. Oh dang, I almost forgot Canada. I'll vortex this, so I'll just randomly go like this and then vortex later. And I think I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger just so I can. Okay, now let's just change the brush size to normal. Vortex this in a minute. I'm just gonna make Hawaii an entire island. And yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna do that's gonna be Hawaii. Then Japan. Also one island. Ooh, yeah, I'm just gonna change this up a little bit. There we go. And this, there we go. I think that looks a little bit better for Baja California. Alright, so then we'll. Oh man, it's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. But anyway, I've done this already 3 times before on my other tries of doing this. Let's just hope it will do it. I think I made Florida a little bit too big, but it's not to scale anyway, so it's fine. Almost forgot Alaska. There. I don't think I'm gonna do the Great Lakes. Well, actually, yeah, I guess I'll do the Great Lakes. So there we go, the Great Lakes. Then Canada's just gonna be mostly like some hills and just barely a little bit of land like that. Just interchanging right here. And I'll vortex that afterwards. Alright, so now it's time to finish this area. Yeah, this is definitely going to take a while. Judging by the fact that I'm actually doing this whole thing. If my computer just crashes right now and and this doesn't save, I'm going to be really mad. But either way, alright, time to just increase the size right here. Thank goodness for these brush sizes. Okay, I think I'm just going to save the world real quick, because our Mac seems to be getting pretty hot, even though it's not even on my lap, I can tell that, so I'm just going to save it. Just so that if my computer shuts off, it'll still save. Let's just increase the size a bit more. Oops. Okay. That's good. Alright. Alright, just got a few parts on North America I can fill in. And there we go. Alright, now time to do the river. Give me the spot size. It's gonna kind of like interchange, causing all these different little island things. And then go like that. Okay. Alright, that's pretty good. Then just do like that, and then jungle seeds. Because I'm in the Amazon rainforest. And just so you guys know, in this is not. Oh, yeah. This is not going to be like a historically accurate representation of history. I'm just going to rewrite all of history, well, history from World War I onwards in WorldBox all the way to like the future. So that's what this video is going to be. Oh wow, I forgot to put trees. Like that. Okay. Let there be trees. And plants, fertilizer, because why not? Let's see. Okay, I think I'm gonna start. Well, I'm not gonna place any civilizations just yet. Just gonna change a few world laws. Rebellions for now are gonna be off. Incubators on. Symbol, yes. Old age, yes. Hunger on. Violence will go off. That I'll turn on later. Just not right now. I don't want to mess with my thing. Alright, now I'm just going. Yeah, I'm gonna save the world because my Mac is getting. Oh, actually, not that hot, but either way. Save. Yeah. Alright. Alright, now let's go back to biomes. So, I think what I'm going to do for California, I think it's just going to be mostly deserts. I mean, it is California. It's mostly desert, so I'm just gonna. So the beaches, of course. And then there's gonna be like some trees, and then there's gonna be the desert. And then there's gonna be all this desert right here. And then we'll have a desert. I think that's what it's called. And then towards the middle of the United States, there's gonna be, of course. Well, should I do a savanna or just grass seeds? I think just grass seeds is fine. And then for Japan, which I'm gonna do real quick, Japan, since it's like because of those purple trees that they have, the purple leaf trees they have there, I'm just going to have it be an enchanted biome. Back to normal. So yeah, there we can have. Canada is just going to be, I think, here, I'll just start a snow biome. I'll just have it snowing up there, so it's cold up there. Look right about right here. Look at where Alaska starts coming in. Alright, there we go. So there we have the United States. And all these places. Cuba can just be I don't know, mushroom. Like I kind of want to incorporate some of this stuff. And I've never been to Cuba, so I'm just gonna make it mushroom. Alright. Alright, and I'm gonna start placing the civilizations now. Just alright, so I think alright, so humans. I just want to see, will they make a civilization? I doubt they will. Man, I'm not gonna okay, they don't. Alright. And then Mexico will go. And then United States, and then I'm just gonna pause everything. This is gonna be I don't know. What's think Argentina. Argentina. I'm not sure if it's with 2 L's, but I doubt it is. Alright, and then Brazil. And then Mexico. And then SA. And then Canada. Alright, so we got Canada, US, all those places. Okay, now I think I'm gonna let them progress a little bit. Normally I would put it on speed mode, but since I'm working on this stuff, I'm not. Alright, so for Africa, yeah, this is gonna be a super long video, I think, because of how long this was taking me. Or maybe it just seemed long to me, I don't know. Alright, so anyway, let's just Africa, right here. And all of my other attempts at doing this, I completely forgot to add in the Nile. So this time, and the Alps, which I am gonna add in. So that's what I'll do this time. It's still snowing, of course. And and I forgot to add Britain, the UK. So I'm gonna do that in a minute here after I'm done this right here. And I'm cutting out a lot of this, so I'm gonna try to add in China as if it's over here in a certain spot, but we'll see. Okay, there we go. Alright. So we're done. So I'm just gonna save it real quick again. Alright, so how's it going? Oh, USA is running out of people. I think I'm just gonna give them to. Is it still paused? Is it still paused? Nope. Okay. Now let's see. So I think I'm going to for Africa. I think I'm going to have it the outline mostly be deserts, and then mostly I'm building that. This whole area right here is going to be deserts. The southern area will also be desert. And then there's, of course, there's going to be jungle mostly on the center area, kind of. And then also some savanna right there. We can have it curved down like that. And then a little bit more savanna right here. Oops, I forgot to put this all the way in, so let me just change this. Right, that'll grow. Oh yeah, the Nile. Keep forgetting to add the Nile, so I'm just going to shallow water. There we go. Here I have all of the countries. As you can see, Japan, Chile, Brazil, and I could put more, but I'm not. Oh wait, never mind. U.S. got a little bit of that land. I gotta fix that. But anyway, so as you can see, you got Canada, which took right. So this is not historically. Before I start explaining his, and I'm gonna do this from when the U.S. first got independence. But I just to be sure, just before I start, this is not at all historically accurate. I said, like in the title of this video, I'm rewriting, as in create my own version of world history from whenever it is that U.S. got their independence to the future and the end of the planet and all that stuff. So anyway, thanks. So here we go. So anyway, so after, alright, wait, let me pause. Alright, so after the USA, won. Oh wait, actually, before I start this thing, just need to put down some trees. I keep forgetting to do this. This stuff right here. Down right there. And just gotta go right here, and just so Canada can get back up to their space. Then just erase all these people right here. Alright, so anyway. So after the US, oh wait a second. Need to make sure. Oops. Alright, so is everybody along here? Check this. There are lots. Okay. So now we can begin. Alright, so anyway, so after the US got the independence from Britain, right here, I misspelled that. Anyway, so they started expanding out west. But you see, Mexico had already started expanding So the U.S. took some of their spot right here that they hadn't yet colonized, or they were trying to, as you can see right there, trying to. So in return, Mexico took some of this area up here, which Canada actually wanted, because it's kind of like the Alaska/Oregon territory. Besides right here, in the California territory, there was a lot of gold. You can find a lot of gold right here, a lot of it. So so they both like kind of scrambled for that area for a while, and meanwhile over here, Norway was expanding downwards, and Ireland was just staying where it was. Kind of the SSR was just sitting there. Israel was trying to expand downward, and then Egypt is just being there right there in North Africa, and Spain's trying to take a little bit of North Africa, and then Germany declares war on France, starting the First World War. And it is not 100% known why they started fighting, but France just started the battle by showing off with some grenades that they just shot everywhere. Which after that, like, Germany was really depleted, so Germany just made peace with France, but then Spain took over France, which then made the Spanish Empire right here, as you can see right here. But then, of course, the U.S. got war with Mexico, and Spain declared war on Germany. Germany really didn't want to fight, so they just made an agreement with Spain. However, Mexico just kind of really wanted to take, was mad at U.S. right here. So then the U.S. agreed to give up some of that space, and as long as Mexico stayed to theirs. But Mexico didn't really like that, so Mexico just went over there, dropped a few bombs in the U.S., and then the U.S. just gave up this land right there, and Mexico gave up a little bit of their territory, and then they made the border, the United States, and then at that point, so then everybody just they destroyed their villages up here. Everybody just left and went home. Kinda. Canada was getting into a spot, but then Canada just decided to leave after the United States won all that stuff. So then there was this. So then the Mexicans are out of California. And then, of course, the U.S. just keeps trying to expand. I mean, the bombs did do some damage right there. Meanwhile, Japan's like just chilling over here. Egypt starts moving downwards, and then Brazil and Chile and all of them, they're just sitting there. Then Chile tries to take some of that and starts a war between these two. And which starts a war between Mexico and Chile. But then, so then they just take. So then Chile drops a few grenades right here, right on the border. Causes a little bit of disorientation on both sides, and then Mexico just makes friends with everybody. That everybody has this party and everything, because I mean, like fireworks. I mean. And Spain made peace with Egypt because I mean they'd been fighting for a while over North Africa territory. So then Spain, everything was like pretty good for a while, and then Israel made like a little empire. Then what is that? Then Ireland just made a little bit a colony in India. Japan took over their whole island. U.S. made a colony over in on the west coast. Mexico stayed to their side of the border. And so right about that. So this is out right after World War I. So then there's World War II comes along because there's this guy, one human right here in the California territory. So there's this guy down in the California territory. And then there's this other guy's cat right here, and he happens to be the president of the United States. Guy's cat right there, and this crazy guy right here, Savage, as you can see, from the characteristic, just like chases the cat, kills the owner, and the cat kind of survives, and then he tells everybody else, and then they kill this guy. But then he happens to be like a refugee from Mexico, so Mexico gets mad, and then they just start fighting against but they think it was some guy from Canada. I mean, Canada's kind of sneaking down in this direction. Nobody exactly lives here. So then Mexico starts war with Canada, and then Canada just sends. Canada doesn't really have that much stuff to make an impact, so they just send a few grenades on the coast right here. Mexico still hanging. So Mexico drops a Nepal bomb, which just causes a little bit of a nice fireball in the sky kind of thing, and then do a small fire. So Mexico and them just both make up, and the United States still doesn't say that it was actually them. Then Canada again retreats their border because they're taking it from the United States. Meanwhile, over here in Egypt is finally sneaking down all the way to the entire Africa. Israel is still taking, well, SSR I think is war with Israel. And then Norway just sitting in Norway. I mean. And then for some reason nobody colonizes Crete or Cuba. I don't know why, but either way. So Canada just starts taking over that to the Alaskan territory, and then the SSR makes peace with Israel, and then of course a couple new kings, a few kingdoms. But of course the USA, the whole thing with Mexico versus Canada was just the beginning. Like just started some chain of events because one man in Mexico still wasn't happy. Especially since Chile took over some land over here where Mexico was supposed to be. So and he goes over to Egypt and he pretends to be an Egyptian and just blows some stuff up in Spain, which causes a war between Spain and Egypt. But Egypt again doesn't want to get plundered by Spain, so they just make this huge bowling ball, which actually makes them work in Israel and Germany, causing everybody to go into war. Then Chile declares war on Brazil, and then and then there's this whole war. But then at the end, everybody just is okay with each other. And so then that's the end of World War II, and then technology starts advancing. Blah blah blah. You got the dogs everywhere, and then Mexico gets infected with these dogs, and then cats are all over these little island thingies. And then of course, over in Spain, the Spanish Empire, of course, they took over all of this area, including Germany. There's just a bunch of there are just a bunch of rodents, which eventually starts a plague, which it just starts this huge plague thingy that just goes throughout Europe area, and then that's the 60s, and then there's the 70s. It's good. It turns out that the sickness was AIDS, and they came out with this stuff called Grey Goo. SSR just takes over some land somewhere, and I think Norway is in the fight between them, and then they discover this thing called a power-up. It just makes everybody really big. Then Brazil makes Egypt because they were in a small fight. And then of course it comes the 80s, which is where everybody's distrustful of technology, and then nobody creates this thing called Grey Goo, which accidentally gets released right here on these little island thingies. But of course, they have to drop a nuke on it, which is an experimental nuke, which they also use it as an experiment. Then that's the last resort. But there's still some gray goo left over, so then they just nuke it again. But there's still some gray goo left, even more. So they just drop a star bomba. But there's still even more left to do. So then, after a bunch of stuff, they eventually just completely destroy the gray goo, and that saves humanity. But of course, there's always a stubborn piece of gray goo that's left. But they eventually defeat it, and then there's a few other wars, and then it's the 90s, which nothing much happened in the 90s, pretty boring. Then there's like a few other wars, and then you're in the 2050 area, and like mid 2000s, like 2500, things like that. The world's pretty much completely taken over. There's a lot of, the world population is at 25 billion. I'm just gonna say that because it's that thing was it. And then there's another a sickness which called COVID-13. I mean, not COVID-13, called VN95. Just causes like half of the total world population to die. So that's another plague. Canada's in a war with the U.S. and Canada ended up getting taken down by the U.S. And then everybody else is over here. Then there's a bunch of Chile because one Argentina. Then there's like the other people make peace with other countries they were fighting. Then there's a meteorite that lands in Israel, and another one that lands in Canada, leaving only 4 Canadians left in the world. And then Japan's just chilling over here when Northway just goes and then drops a bomb, just a normal warhead on southern Japan. So Japan goes all out, drops a SAR bomba off the coast of Northway, which just causes like the coast to be completely ruined. So Northway sends these, of course the technology is kind of advanced, so Northway just sends over these bots, these what the heck are they? These cyber cores. But then there's a robot revolution. Then the cyber cores that are there just completely destroy everybody. They just destroy everybody. But although they do get destroyed eventually in Japan alone, they end up spreading to the rest of the world, and everybody just dies. And they eventually do destroy all the cyber cores. Eventually, but then of course there's some biomass that accidentally gets released in Mexico. Eventually those are destroyed too, but then some fertilizer experiments in Spain accidentally give off the super pumpkin, which is really weird. And then a dragon somehow comes to life in the SSR, brings down a bunch of stuff. And then there's all this pollution everywhere, so like all the space just becomes uninhabitable. And then Mexico gets the worst of it because like it's Mexico. And like they don't got that good waste management system. And then of course at the end of around 3000, there's the alien invasion. But it's not really an invasion because I mean the aliens are like on different sides. And they attack Spain, but then they end up attacking everybody. So they attack Spain first, and then Chile kind of gets destroyed, along with all these other countries. Mexico gets the worst of it. USA got a lot, and then Japan gets a 3. Northway is pretty safe. But then once they destroy all of them, they just decide to just go to war because of whoever let them, the aliens, just take over everything. So then there's a bunch of star bombers are just dropped everywhere on the planet accidentally, and so dies all of humanity. Well, most of it. Like there are like a few people who survive. Norway, Spain, the few people from Russia, Argentina, I think survives. So yeah, so the world population is down to 122,000. Five people from the U.S. are still alive, and then slowly everybody dies, and that's the end of humanity. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. And well, this is me rewriting entire history almost in WorldBox. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.